I know what you're hiding with your hands. And there's no face left. But I don't know you.
I'm not the torturer, madam.
I never thought you were. I thought that someone was trying to play a rather nasty trick on me. Is it just the three of us? Well, as we are to live together, I suppose we should introduce ourselves. My name's Estelle Rigo.
And I'm Inez Serrano. Very pleased to meet you.
Joseph Garcin.
You're very pretty. I wish we'd had some flowers to welcome you with.
Flowers? Oh yes, I love flowers. Only they'd fade so quickly here, wouldn't they? So stuffy. Well, I suppose the great thing is to keep as cheerful as we can. Don't you agree? Of course, you two aren't.
Yes, last week. What about you?
I'm quite recent. Yesterday. As a matter of fact, the ceremony is not quite over. The wind's blowing my sister's veil all over the place. She's trying her best to cry. Come, dear, make another effort. Yes, that's better. 2 tears. 2 little tears are twinkling under the black veil.
Did you suffer much?
No, I was only half conscious, mostly.
What was it?
Pneumonia. Oh, it's over now. You're leaving the cemetery. Goodbye, goodbye. Quite a crowd they are. My husband stayed at home. Prostrated with grief, poor man. How about you?
The gas stove.
And you, Mr. Garcin?
12 bullets through my chest. Sorry, I fear I'm not good company among the dead.
Oh, no, please don't use that word. It's so crude. And terribly bad taste, really. I suppose it doesn't mean much, anyhow. Somehow I feel we've never been so much alive as we are now. But if we've absolutely got to mention the state of things, then I suggest we call ourselves absentees. Yes. Have you been absent for long?
About a month.
Where do you come from?
From Rio.
I'm from Paris. Have you anyone left down there?
Yes, my wife. She's waiting at the entrance of the barracks. She comes there every day, but they won't let her in. Now she's trying to peep between the bars. Now she's going away. She's wearing her black dress. So much the better. She won't need to change. It's a bright, sunny day. She's like a black shadow walking down an empty street. Those big, tragic eyes of hers, that martyred look they always had. Oh, how she got on my nerves.
Please, Mr. Garcin.
What is it?
You look so far away.
I was setting my life in order. You may laugh, but you'd do better to follow in my example.
No need. My life is in perfect order. It tidied itself up nicely of its own accord, so I needn't bother about it now.
Really? You think it's so simple as that? Ooh, it's getting hot in here. Do you mind if I,
How dare you! No, please don't. I loathe men and their shirt sleeves.
All right. Of course, I used to spend my nights in the newspaper office, and it was a regular black hole, so we never really used to keep our shirt sleeves on. Stifling haunt it is. Stifling that it is. It's night now.
That's so. How quickly the time passes on Earth.
Yes, after midnight. They've sealed up my room. It's dark, pitch dark, and empty.
They've strung their coats on the backs of the chairs. And they've rolled up their shirt sleeves above the elbow. The air stinks of men and cigar smoke. I used to like living among men in their shirt sleeves.
Well, in that case, our case different. That's all it proves. What about you? Do you like men in their shirt sleeves?
Oh, I don't much care for men anyway.
Really? I can't imagine why they put us three together. It doesn't make sense.
What's that you said?
Well, I'm just looking at you two and thinking that we're going to live together. It's so absurd. I imagine that I would meet old friends or relatives.
It's a charming old friend with a hole in the middle of his face.
Yes, him too. He danced tango so divinely. Like a professional. But why? Why should we, of all people, be put together?
A pure fluke, I should say. The large folks as they can, in the order of their coming. Why are you laughing?
Because you amuse me with your flukes, as if they left anything to chance. But suppose you've got to reassure yourself somehow.
I wonder now, don't you think we might have met each other at some point in our lives?
Never. I shouldn't have forgotten you.
Or perhaps we have friends in common. I wonder if you know the Dubois Seymour?
Not likely.
But everyone went to their parties.
What's their job?
They don't do anything. But they have a lovely house in the country, and hosts of people visit them.
I didn't. I was a post office clerk.
In that case, what about you, Mr. Garcin?
We've never met. I've always lived in Rio.
Then you must be right. It's mere chance that has put us together.
Mere chance. Well, then it's an accident that the furniture is arranged as we see it. It's an accident that the sofa on the right is a livid green and that one on the left wine red. Mere chance. Well, just try to shift the sofas and you'll see the difference quick enough. Oh, and that statue on the mantelpiece, do you think it's there by accident? And what about the heat down here? How about that? I tell you, they've thought it all out, down to the last detail. Nothing was left to chance. This room was all set for us.
But really, everything here is so hideous. All at angles, so comfortable. I always loathed angles.
And do you think I lived in the Second Empire drawing room?
So it was all fixed up beforehand?
Yes. And they put us together deliberately.
Then it's not mere chance that you precisely are sitting opposite me? But what can be the meaning behind it?
Ask me another. I only know they're waiting.
I can never bear the idea of anyone's expecting something from me. It always made me want to do just the opposite.
Well, do it. Do it if you can. You don't even know what they expect.
It's outrageous! So something's coming to me from you two. Oh, something nasty, I suppose. There are some faces that tell me everything at once. Yours don't convey anything.
Look here. Why are we together? You've given us quite enough hints. You might as well come out with it.
But I know nothing. Absolutely nothing about it. I'm as much in the dark as you are.
We've got to know.
If only each of us had the guts to tell.
Tell what?
Estelle,
Yes?
what have you done? I mean, why have they sent you here?
That's just it. I haven't a notion, not the foggiest. In fact, I'm thinking that there has been some ghastly mistake. Don't smile. Just think of all the people who become absentees every day. There must be thousands and thousands. And they're all sorted out by understaffers. Oh, you know what I mean. Stupid employees who don't know their job. So they're bound to make mistakes sometimes. Do stop smiling.
that all you have to tell us?
What else should I tell you? I have nothing to hide. I lost my parents when I was a kid, and I had my young brother to bring up. We were terribly poor, so when an old friend of my people asked me to marry him, I said yes. He was very well off and quite nice. My brother was a very delicate child who needed all sorts of attention. So really, it was the right thing for me to do. Don't you agree? My husband was old enough to be my father, but for 6 years we had a happy married life. Then, 2 years ago, I met the man I was fated to love. We knew at the moment we set eyes on each other. He asked me to run away with him, and I refused. Then I got pneumonia, and it finished me. That's the whole story. No doubt, by certain standards, I did wrong to sacrifice my youth to a man nearly 3 times my age. But do you think that could be called a sin?
Certainly not. And now, tell me, do you think it's a crime to stand by one's principles?
Of course not. Surely no one can blame a man for that.
Wait a minute. I ran a pacifist newspaper. Then war broke out. What was I to do? Everyone was watching me, wondering, will he dare? Will I dare? I folded my arms and they shot me. Had I done anything wrong?
No! On the contrary, you were
A hero! And how about your wife, Mr. Garcin?
That's simple. I rescued her from the gutter.
You see?
Yes, I see. Look here. What's the point of play acting? Trying to throw dust in each other's eyes. We're all tarred with the same brush.
How dare you?
Yes, we are criminals, murderers, all 3 of us. We're in hell, my friends. They never make mistakes. And people aren't damned for nothing.
Stop, for heaven's sake!
In hell, damned souls, that's us all 3.
Keep quiet! I forbid you to use such disgusting words!
A damned soul, that's you, my little bastard saint. And ditto our friend here, the noble pacifist. We've had our hour of pleasure, haven't we? There have been people who burned their lives out for our sakes, and we chuckled over it. So now, we have to pay the reckoning.
Can you keep your mouth shut, damn it?
Well, well. I understand now. I know why they put us 3 together.
I advise you to think twice before you say any more.
Wait, you'll see how simple it is. Childishly simple. Obviously, there aren't any physical torments. You agree, don't you? And yet, we're in hell, and no one else will come here. We'll stay in this room together, the 3 of us, forever and ever. In short, there's someone absent here, the official torturer.
I noticed that.
It's obvious what they're after. An economy of manpower, or devil power if you prefer. The same ideas in the cafeteria where customers serve themselves.
Whatever do you mean?
I mean that each of us will act as torturer of the 2 others.
So much the better. I want to know whom I have to deal with.
You know already. There's nothing more to learn.
You're wrong. So long as each of us hasn't made a clean breast of it, why, they've damned him or her. We know nothing. Nothing that counts. You, young lady, you shall begin. Why? Tell us why, if you are frank. If we bring our spectors into the open, it may save us from disaster, so out with it. Why?
I tell you, I have no notion. They wouldn't tell me why.
That's so. They wouldn't tell me either, but I have a pretty good idea. Perhaps you're shy of speaking first. Right. I'll lead off. I'm not a very estimable person.
No need to tell us that. We know you were a deserter.
Let that be. It's only a side issue. I'm here because I treated my wife abominably. That's all. For 5 years. Naturally, she's suffering still. There she is. The moment I mention her, I see her. It's Gomez who interests me. And it's she I see. Where's Gomez got to for 5 years? There. They've given her back my things. She's sitting by the window with my coat on her knees. The coat with the 12 bullet holes. The blood's like rust. A brown ring round each hole. It's quite a museum piece, that coat. Sacred with history. I used to wear it. Fancy. Now, can't you shed a tear, my love? Surely you'll squeeze one out at last. No. You can't manage it. Night after night, I came home blind, drunk, stinking of wine and women. She sat up for me, of course, but she never cried, never uttered a word of reproach. Only her eyes spoke. Big, tragic eyes. I don't regret anything. I must pay the price, but I shan't whine. It's snowing in the street. Won't you cry? Confound you. That woman was born martyr. You know, a victim by vocation.
Why did you hurt her like that?
It was so easy. A word was enough to make her flinch, like a sensitive plant. But never, never a reproach. I'm fond of teasing. I watched and waited, but no, not a tear. Not a protest. I tell you, I regret nothing. The truth is, she admired me too much. Does that mean anything to you?
No, nobody admires me. You brute.
Yes, a brute, certainly. Else, why should I be here? Your turn.
Well, I was what some people down there call a damned bitch. Damned already, so it's no surprise being here.
Is that all you have to say?
No. There was that affair with Florence. A dead man's tale, with 3 corpses to it. He, to start with, then she and I. So there's no one left, I've nothing to worry about. It was a clean sweep. Only that room. I see it now and then. Empty. With the doors locked. No. They've just unlocked them. To let. It's to let. There's a notice on the door that's too ridiculous.
3? 3
Three.
deaths, you said.
3.
1 man and 2 women?
Yes.
Well, did he kill himself?
He? No. He had the guts for that. Still, he'd every reason to. We led him a dog's life. As a matter of fact, he was run over by a tram. A silly sort of end. I was living with them. He was my cousin.
Was Florence fair?
Fair. You know, I don't regret a thing. Still, I'm not so very keen on telling you the story.
That's all right. So you got sick of him?
All sorts of little things got on my nerves. For instance, he made a noise when he was drinking, a sort of gurgle. Trifles like that. He was rather pathetic, really. Vulnerable. Why are you smiling?
Because I, anyhow, am not honorable.
Don't be too sure. I crept inside her skin. She saw the world through my eyes. When she left him, I had her on my hands. We shared a bed sitting room at the other end of the town.
And then?
And then that tram did its job. I used to tell her every day, yes, my pet, we killed him between us. I'm rather cruel, really.
So am I.
No, you're not cruel, it's something else.
What?
I'll tell you later. When I say I'm cruel, I mean I can't get on without making people suffer. Like a live coal in others' hearts. When I'm alone, I flicker out. For 6 months, I flamed away in her heart, but there was nothing but a cinder. One night, she got up and turned on the gas while I was asleep. Then she crept back into bed. So now you know.
Your turn. What have you done?
As I told you, I haven't a notion. I rack my brain, but it's no use.
Right. Then we'll give you a hand. That fellow with the smashed face. Who was he?
Who do you mean?
You know quite well, the man you were so scared of seeing when you came in.
Him. A friend of mine.
Why were you afraid of him?
Leave me alone! It's not fair bullying me like that. I want to go! I want to go!
Go if you can. Personally, I ask for nothing better. Unfortunately, the door is locked. So, this is hell. I never have believed it. You remember all we were told about the torture chambers, the fire, the brimstone, the burning marl, old wives' tales? There's no need for red hot pokers. Hell is other people.
So here we are, forever.
Forever. Oh my God, how funny. Forever.
Forever and ever and ever. Well, let's get on with it.